Hello everyone, I'm Carrie and I'm back with another full moon energy reading. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I'm very excited to get back to it. Um, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, subscribing, also just watching. Thank you for your comments, all of that. I just appreciate your energy. So I want to just get started with this reading. This is a full moon energy reading. It's a full moon in Libra, and this moon is called the worm moon. And I just looked up what that means, and it says worm moon is named after when the worms are starting to make trails in the ground again. So we just had the spring equinox. Spring is here, and now the world is starting to wake up. And this energy reading is really reminding me of that. It's interesting because even today I just went out and about a little bit just to do some shopping and get some gas, like real small errands. But the energy I felt was like rush. It's like let's go, let's rush, let's hurry. And I was like, why are we in a hurry? And me as a tourist, that is irritating to me because you don't rush a tourist. So I had a very irritating day out today, but I don't know if you're feeling that energy of rush. It could be this energy that's coming with spring. It's like things are waking up and it's like now it's time to get out there and enjoy and go out and about and see what's out in the world. Imagine like, back in the day when winters were, things that you really had to struggle to survive because it was very cold and the resources were not like they are now. Like imagine how celebratory of a time this is and how it's like a time for you to get back to your normal routine or your summer routine. The things that you're going to be doing every day are going to completely change because during the winter you were likely resting and not putting too much energy or effort into anything, because you were trying to preserve and store that energy and you needed a lot of it just to stay warm. But now it's the time to get out here in these streets to play around. And even when we think about some of the ceremonies and things that happen during spring, like reproduction, let's say. So if you're really feeling the urge to go out there and procreate, ask yourself if it's, what you really want to do, or if it's your body just being like, hey, it's springtime. Anyway, so those are the things, like the overall themes that I'm feeling right now for this full moon. But I put some cards and I asked the overall energy. And the overall energy is gratitude. I love it. Look at the flowers. Look at the people holding each other's hands. So when I look at this card, again, I was talking about wintertime and how, back in the day, surviving winter it's not guaranteed. So I'm thinking about gratitude. I'm thinking about, being grateful to be alive, grateful to be here on this earth, but also like grateful that the winter is gone. The season has changed and now we get something new, something completely different. I don't know if any of you are affected by the SADD, the seasonal, what's the SAD? I don't know, seasonal affect disorder, to where you're a little bit sad in the winter time. I definitely get that, even though I live on an island and it's really not winter here. It does not, the leaves don't change. But that doesn't mean that I don't get sad when we have lots and lots of rainy days and it gets kind of gloomy here. And so it's like being grateful that now the days are sunny, they're longer, they're, brighter, all that. Like the complete energy has changed now. And of course, it doesn't necessarily happen on a dime, but like we're going towards that. And I can even feel the energy shift. I'm feeling like I have more energy. I'm less tired. I have less desire to be inside. I want to go outside and do things, go to the beach or whatever, just be outside. And so listen to those things. Okay, so now let's just get into the reading. First cards we have are balance and beginnings. I love these two cards showing up in the beginning of our reading because it's literally just talking about how things have changed now. If you look at this beginnings card especially, I mean, it looks like the change from winter to spring. Like you can just see we're going through that gateway. It's beginnings. And because of that, like I was talking about earlier, there's just a need for us to completely change our approach to the world, especially if you're living somewhere where it actually gets cold in the wintertime. Your routine's going to change. Even the products that you use are going to change. Maybe you don't need so much, oil or lotion in your life, so much moisturization because, it's not so dry anymore. Even the clothes you're wearing are going to change. Your daily routine, maybe you have to do certain things because it's cold that you don't have to do anymore because the springtime is here. And so it's like balance because it's requiring you to rebalance to get back into the groove. because you have new things that you're putting now into this, into what you're doing, to your daily routine. So of course this can be talking literally about your daily life, but I also think it's talking about our emotions and our spiritual practices in our lives, because it's so interesting. When I think of the winter, I think of darkness. And here in this balance, this woman has a cloud over her head. So she's not really able to see clearly what's going on anywhere, everywhere. But she's still required to get back into balance. And so to me, it's like making sure you're like within your internal self, the things that you cannot see, that you can only know and feel and, intuit. Those are the things that are being called to be back into balance. Like, especially again, if you suffer from the seasonal affect disorder to where you're sad during the winter time, it's like, okay, let go of those thoughts and feelings. Like, there's more, like you have more ability to do that now because your environment has changed. It's a little bit brighter, it's a little bit happier. So you can start reaching towards that happiness now. Or even things that you had put off because it was just like, I am not in the mood. I just want to sit down and, chill. I want to sleep more. Like you might have been doing more sleeping. So now you have more time if you're sleeping less to do some of those things that you wanted to do. Like the creative things that bring out the joy in you and the happiness in you. Even the fact that, like me, I want to be outside more, to being outside more, being with nature more, literally getting back into balance within yourself internally, emotional, spiritually, physically, mentally, all of those things that you don't quite see on the outside. That to me, I also see as coming back into balance. And this full moon, I think, is just kind of bringing that energy towards us. Next, we have assessing and purity. So when I see these two, I think about, especially when I see purity, it looks like a snowy winter day, but she has this wrap over her head, so she's not really able to see. I don't know why, but I really just feel like the energy, like especially lately, if you felt like your intuition has just been a little bit off and you couldn't really see well. When I say see well, I mean like know in like the however way that you know things, you might not be able to know as well as you used to. That just could be something to do with the energies that have been going around. But it's like maybe in the wintertime you were not able to see as well. Maybe you were just not in the mood. Maybe you kind of felt like you lost some touch. I'm really getting the energy of you, like that veil being like coming off right now during this full moon time. And I'm saying that because I swear I have been having incidences lately where I'm just like, well, what happened? Like sometimes I just feel like I go elsewhere, like into the 5D or whatever D it is that I go to. I don't know. It's just like moments where I'm just like, wait, where was I just now? So I'm just kind of feeling like the veil is being lifted for me, more so than it normally is. So for you, you could also have these incidences or feel like the veil is very, very thin for you. Or even if you felt like there was a blockage in your intuition, you feel like that thing is opening right back up. Because that's really, really what I'm feeling right now. I feel like, yeah, super intuitive right now. Just even when I was looking at these cards, it was just like, oh, yes, yes, yes. Like there was really no having to wonder what the message was about. It was just very clear to me. And so because we have assessing here, clarified by purity, this woman, she is looking like she's looking to the heavens. She's got a microscope, a telescope, and she is like, she's focused on a point. I don't know what point, but she's focused on a point in a specific point and position, because when you have a telescope, you know what direction you want to go in, but you're like looking for some certain markers. You're looking for something specific, especially if you're in the stars. You're looking for a certain star, like a location, like whatever. Anyway, it could be that perhaps you've lost touch with something, and this is now a really, really good time for you to reorient yourself into the direction that you want to go to. For instance, like if you, during this winter time, you didn't have a lot of energy to like work on your own stuff or even focus because you had all this other stuff going on and like your energy was just lower than it normally is. This is now the time for you to like reorient yourself to the things that are actually important to you and not just the things that you have the energy and time for. You know what I mean? Like it's really helpful for you to like get back on track is what I'm seeing. And the getting back on track, especially because the purity is here, it's like the things that matter to you, like not anything from the outside, not anything else that anybody else thinks is important. It's like your stuff. It's like my thing that I care about. I'm getting back on track with this. I really want to work on this thing over here. So I'm going to go start working on that more because I have now time, because I have remembered, oh shoot, this is very important to me. because I'm not as tired as much and I can think about things a little bit more deeply than I was able to before. Things aren't as cloudy, it's not as dark and sad and depressing. I have more energy, more time. I'm gonna go focus on these things. I have this other goal over here. I actually want to go and do that. I want to improve upon that. Like, I'm just really getting the energy of you kind of assessing, like, okay, what is important to me now? And you really focusing on that. Next, we have change and creation. So this is interesting because if we go back to the analogy of it's, about to be like springtime has come, winter is over. What do we do when spring has come? Like we're getting ready for the new year. Like if we're farmers, we're going to be starting to figure out what our crops are going to be, or maybe we have already figured that out. I don't know. I am not a farmer, but it's going to be some planning and some creating in there when it comes to like planting seeds and figuring out how to plant those seeds and what formation and where they're going to go, and what type to plant and how many we need, like that kind of information. So to me, especially when I see this change card, it's really, really, really dynamic. And it's just making me think of transformation. And so because we see creation, clarifying that, it's like there's a plan here when it comes to the transformation. And I'm really getting, especially, I don't know, maybe because it's the energy of creation right now, I'm really getting you wanting to plant new seeds, like literally in your life. Maybe there's some changes you want to make. Maybe you're trying to get ready for something. Maybe you got plans for summertime and you're like, okay, let me go ahead and implement these. It's time. Let me put these things in order. Let me go ahead and like jump off something new, start something new, because they're literally jumping off of this planet. And there's a lot of lightning around. It's making me think of the tower, but I don't really think this is an external thing. I mean, it could be because the season is completely changing and it's completely changing the way that you're going to be able to interact with the world. But I really do feel like this is you wanting to figure out, okay, this is how things need to be in my life, and I'm going to make them this way. Because I have decided, I've assessed and figured out this is how I want it to go. This is what I'm going to be focusing on. And even if that's not what you're doing right now, this is an energy reading, so I'm talking about the energies that are around. So if you're really interested in beginning something new, now is the time. But of course, make sure you're assessing and you're looking in the correct direction, and whatever direction it is that you are, like that is important to you, look at it and focus on that. Like with this telescope, you see only the things that you want to see. All that other stuff around you cannot see. It's like a very specific point and direction that you're looking at. And because you've looked in that direction and making your plan based off of that, it would be easy for you to jump off or make this magnificent change that you want to make, like this big, big change. So the energies are around for that. Then we have surrender and self-love. This surrender card is a very interesting one. It's hard to tell what these pillars and columns are. And this woman, she just has her eyes closed and her arms out. But who knows what this stuff is around her? Like, I have no idea what it is. I see a lot of different things and I look at it, I'm like, is this a mountain? Is this a unicorn? Is this a person behind her? But honestly, it doesn't seem like it matters. It seems like she's open and surrendering to whatever can happen. And that is being clarified by self-love. So, I was thinking about that song by Chance the Rapper. I don't remember what it's called. But he says, don't forget the happy thoughts. All we need is happy thoughts, or something like that. I'm thinking about this being like a mindset. Like, when winter happens and spring happens and summer happens, it's not like we're able to decide or choose when they occur. We're not able to like control the seasons in any way, at least not in any short-term way, to be like, you know what, we need it to be winter tomorrow, we need some coals, you know what, actually I'm not ready for the snow to melt, we're gonna wait, we're gonna stop spring. It's kind of like surrendering to the things that are and the way that things are. And a part of doing that is like, it's love. Like, doing that is love. I feel like this doesn't make sense. Let me see how I can make it make sense. We have surrender clarified by self-love. And the way that I'm seeing this is that things are the way they are. You are the way you are. Like, situation is the way the situation is. Instead of sitting and trying to make it to be so, instead of trying to extend winter 25 more days or 10 more days, or make spring come super, super early, let's let the snow melt. Instead of trying to like force and make and whatever. Like, allowing things to be as they are and appreciating it for what it is, because we have this gratitude card, like just be happy. Basically, it's like don't forget the happy thoughts. Like don't forget to be grateful about where you are right now, you know, enduring all of this change and all this energies that are going around. Because right now, I told you, it's a really good time for change. But if you're not in alignment with that energy, but you see all this change happening around you, you see these trees, they're, you know, getting buds and they're getting their leaves back, and you see the skies getting, you know, more lights in it every day. That days are lengthening, but you don't feel like you're changing enough, or you're not, you don't feel like you're in alignment with that. Then you can kind of tend to get down on yourself and be really upset. And to me, that is the opposite of self-love, because if you loved yourself in that moment, you would see like, oh, I'm not in alignment with this. But that doesn't mean that I'm wrong. That just means that I'm not in alignment with this right now. Like, but I can observe and see the things that are going on outside of me and within me. I can appreciate where I am right now because I know what I've gone through and been through. I know, you know, what has taken me to get here, and I know that, you know, there's going to be a lot for me to go through too, like later. And so I don't necessarily have to be in a rush to be in alignment with what's going on right now. I don't have to be in a rush to be where anybody else is. I can just appreciate where I am right now. And that's what I see when I see this surrender and self-love card. Like with all this change and all this stuff going on, not to sit here and try to be hard or harsh on yourself. Because I just saw the picture of somebody, you know, farming, but their little lamb was like, it was little, it was real little. They didn't have like a big huge field, but you know, you taking care of that small farm is going to be the thing that helps you learn how to maintain and grow a big field, because there's so many different skills and things that you have to learn. And imagine you learning how to like maximize your space and do, you know, however much you can possibly do in that small space. When you get a larger space, it's going to be even better than someone who starts out with a larger space, because you are going to know how to maximize that large space, just like you did that small space. So you're going to yield even more. You know what I'm saying? Like there's going to be lessons learned there that you're going to take on your next journey. So don't like ever feel like where you are right now is a waste of time or a waste of space. Like, no, this is important. It is important for you to be here. Think of all the lessons that you're learning right now in this moment that you can take on to the next moment when things do grow and change, because that change is inevitable. Anyway, okay, so that is what I am getting for this full moon reading. I'm really getting the change, the energy of change and expansion, also of wanting to create something new, like change and expansion, because the seasons are literally changing right now. And depending on how much is affecting you, you'll see, you know, you'll physically see it. But I just really feel like our bodies, they know more than we give ourselves credit for. And so you might be feeling this like faster paced energy. You might even be feeling a little frisky, but I'm telling you, springtime is the time. That's where the little bunnies get made. So just pay attention to that if you're not trying to have a baby right now. Just pay attention, because your body might have other ideas. And also, I'm really getting the energy of just like expansion of your mind. So right now, especially during this full moon, if you're really, really feeling like the veil is thin, like your intuitive abilities are even stronger, you can use that to your advantage and go ahead and be like, okay, so what is it that I need to know right now? What is it that I am wanting to work on? Are there any downloads that I would really like to get? Like what kind of like help me get back into alignment with my path? Let me use that to my advantage. And also let me know that I should, you know, protect myself a little bit extra right now. You know, making sure that I am focused on the things that are important to me and not allowing a lot of outside stuff to get into my system and my aura and my beliefs, things that I care about and believe in. Okay, thank you so much for watching this reading. Please like, subscribe, especially comment if any of this resonates with you. All right, I'll see you in the next one.